What's up, y'all? It's your boy Charles Arnaz. Go ahead and subscribe to that channel. You know what? I drive Uber. I ain't ashamed to say it. I'm a black man in America. I'm poor as a motherfucker. Listen, I realize, man, we are left out. Black people, we are left out the economic loop, man. As I pick up all these white folks coming into LA, coming into town, business, they open up this big deal and this big thing they doing, and I hear them on the phone, these white folks on their phones talking about moving 5 million over here, another 10 million over here. You know, we got this $200 million deal coming. And I realized, and I never seen any white folks, I never seen any black folks to get in my car that's here on business. They either live here or they going to do like some kind of structure. Like they either going to work like some construction shit, some stuff like that. But for the most part, young and old white people that get in my car, they coming into town, they working on some big deal where it's multi-millions of dollars. I'm like, and then I start to realize we are left out the economic loop. We left out, very few of us can, I would say probably maybe even a fraction of 1% can talk like that. To come in and, you know what I'm saying, yeah, 5 million over here, we're gonna take another 220 million and put towards this. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, this is what they want. They want us to be left out the trap. They want us to be left out the big money, you know, left out the money game. That's exactly what it is. We are out the economic loop of America, and that's how they want it to stay. They don't want us to be economically independent, because that's really the true freedom in America, is having like big money like that. You can move $20 million over here to this business, another 20 million. You know what I'm saying? They don't want us to make moves like that. Once you start making moves like that, you become a threat. As long as you dirt poor and steady scratching your head and trying to figure it out, you always going to be in the maze, in the matrix. Always going to be on that hamster wheel, and that's how they want you, because you less competition. You ain't got no competition to even come towards them, because you ain't got no backing. Mark Zuckerberg, when he started Facebook, was able to get $50 million funding. You think they'll get it to a black person? They don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck how brilliant the ideal is. No, they're not gonna give them that kind of economic power. And driving Uber, you realize that, like, we are really, because LA is one of the major cities that people want to do business in. Most of the people that come in this city usually are white folks or Asian folks that are doing these big deals. We are definitely left out the economic loop, man. I'm talking about that generational wealth money. And that's where it's gonna stay. That's why I always hear black folks talking about, oh, we need to, you know, push for reparations. These white folks is not going to give us no damn reparations. They're not going to give you a helping hand to become competition. They're going to keep you poor. Keep them poor. I read a book about that, how that was the whole, okay, we're going to let them out of slavery. We're going to end Jim Crow, but keep they ass poor. We keep them poor, we have control over them. That's why a lot of times the push on drugs, the drug wars in the 80s and the 90s, it wasn't about the drugs that were being dispersed in the hood. Didn't give a fuck about that shit. A bunch of black people getting high and fucked up, their families being messed up. That's what they wanted. They was being the push on the war on drugs in the hood, because black men were getting rich off of it. That's what they messed up at. There's a lot of black people getting rich off of drugs. They didn't give a fuck about the people that was getting high from it. If the drug dealers would have been dirt poor, just as poor as the people that they was giving the drugs to, drugs would never would have been illegal. It became illegal when black and brown people started getting rich off of it. You know, from the Freeway Rick Rosses in New York to Frank Lucas in New York to El Chapo in Mexico. They don't want brown people to have that kind of access to money. That's power. You could open up malls. You could open a mall right across the street from their mall and become competition. Your kids can start going to the kind of private schools that their kids go to. That's why they have private schools, is to separate them from us. They make it so expensive they know your ass can't go. Your kids ain't gonna be able to go there and afford it. So it's all economic war, man. I'm really starting to realize that doing Uber, like, we are really left out the economic fold. So now that we established that, what do y'all think would be, because I'm all about solutions, what would be the next course of action? What y'all think? White folks, allies of us, what do y'all think we should do? Let's talk about it in the comment section down below. Subscribe to the channel. Charles Arnaz World and No Face City. Appreciate y'all.